on it.
All right, but guess I wasn't so hard.
Ahoy, Captain. I've got to come clean about something, and that'll be as good a time as not. Much as I hate Benwith, the main reason I signed up with you were to get here. To get a chance to look for a man named Romaro. That'd be a longer story than we've got time for. Quick of it be that Romaro's in trouble. The Principe have sent a ship hunter after him, and I've got an evening and a half to find him first. I didn't see his ship, so probably not. But mayhaps we could keep a weather eye open for clues to his whereabouts.
Huh?
One of my eyes be open.
If it's locked tight, it must be deeper into the fort.
Guess I wasn't so hard. All right, but I'm keeping what's in there. All done.
Deadlock's power to be north of here. The brig be to...
Let's take a look.
Found something.
I'll see what I...
Aye, I'll give her a bad rap. Aye, aye. I don't be supposing we could swapped in sparkling, Captain.
Hello, Swabby. You ain't one of Benny's. What are you doing here? I could tell you where he is, if you're interested in an exchange. You see, Brutal Ben's locked me and my mates down here to torment our noble Captain Lamont. They had what you might call a disagreement. The Captain's a good man to have at your back, especially for anyone who's fallen into Benwith's sights. Seeing as you've let us out of the brig, I'd say we owe you. So you ought to speak with our captain in the forge. It's up the stairs on the western end. Keep it quiet and follow me, mates.
More than my eyes be open. Captain?
Nice and
Captain,
quiet.
done and done. Captain? My fingers be fat and furry, easy breezy, wet and sleazy. Captain, before I go introducing you to Siri, I should, mention something. I might have said things to Siri when I last dropped anchor at Deadlight. Just lovers' words, savvy. But I can't say I rightly lived up to 'em. All I'm saying is, you see her go for a pistol, you best step away from me.
Nice and quiet.
Done and done.
Production's too slow. At this rate, we'll never get out of here. Not till LD's comes back. Hey, scamper off you. We ain't taking orders. Plus, if your armor's dented, you'd be better served throwing it against some rocks. For the record, I have no idea what I'm doing. You must be more than a common mutineer if you've got the brains or the brawn to see to your revenge. In that case, I'll gladly step out of your path. Me and Brutal Ben had a bit of a disagreement. He tossed most of my crew into the brig. Myself and my first mate got the mercy of serving an extended stint in this forge. If you were one of us, you'd have heard that by now. Gossip flows like water through these parts. Tell me then, stranger, who are you? Blast my eyes and burn my fingers. I know you. Benwith attacked your ship right in the eye of a typhoon. He's been crowing about it enough since. Black Seas. But I hate Benwith. I know. They stopped by the forge. I'll show you the way into Aldi's quarters, where you're sure to find our brutal band. This way. Door's open, but there's something you ought to consider before you go. Sure, you could traipse right up there into Aldi's quarters to gut Benwith, but he'll be heavily guarded. Meanwhile, me and my crew will be stealing Ben's ship, the Drake. And in doing it, we're gonna bait him into storming outside, all alone. Benny docks the Drake in a hidden berth beneath the fort. Kill the guards there for us. Aye, that's why I want your help. After you've cleared the docks, take the western tower to the fort's ramparts and sound the boating bell. 3 rings. Me and my mates will sail out with the Drake. 3 bell tolls alerts the fort to a ship leaving the private docks. With Aldi's gone to sea, that leaves just Ben's Drake docked. Ben's sure to storm the ramparts in a rage. Right in time to watch his pride be stolen. Knew I could count on you. I can't wait until Ben gets his.
How may I help? How may I help? Indeed. All right, but I'm keeping all done.
Here's the one that saved our skins.
All right, but I'm keeping all done.
Now what have we got here? I do believe I recognize these goddamn chests. By Andra's salty bosom, Romaro hauled this chest from one end of the Deadfire to the other. Dear S, that be me. I knew you'd seek me out. Please abandon the trail here. I fashioned this predicament for my own, and I'd not have you lock its weight round your own ankles. If you find yourself imperiled, seek Udina at Magic Water. She can help. I don't know Udina from Ward Mage, but Magic Waters I know like my own fucking name. When I were a wee lad fresh on the Sorcerer, Romaro would treat me to the luminous bathhouse at Nekitaka. Oh, the water there shimmered like dawn on the open sea, and I, full flush with the poetic creativity of youth, called it Magic Waters. I know you don't owe me the favor, Captain, but if we could find our way to that bathhouse, I'd not hold it against you. Unless, and of course, you asked. For now, though, we've got plunder and pillage before us, aye?
Well, that's all done.
Ooh, have yourself a look at that.
Aye, indeed. Aye, I shall. Aye.
A light's foot and an heavy bullet, aye, Captain.
Come on, Tam. Protect Captain Benwith at any cost.
I think I can't. What for, Cap? Ahoy. Ahoy. A light's foot, aye.
Do I know you? Well, you wouldn't be the first I've pissed off and forgotten. For that to work, you'd have to be able to hit me. And I'm not likely to allow that. Ah, right. You're that sloop captain what got caught in the storms. I take it you did a number on my crew. Figures. I should have stayed to kill you myself. Looks like I'll have to remedy that now. What you hope to accomplish coming around here? You do realise we're standing in the most well-guarded spot in all of Deadlight. So start singing, and do it quick. Because if you've got any fishy ideas, I can tell you this. You can fight me if you like, but you won't be leaving this fort alive. You'll have to take me alive to do either, and that ain't likely to happen. Careful what you say next, or I'm likely to make you eat your entrails. There's some skill required to doing it right. Otherwise the victim bleeds out before they can choke to death. Sure you want to try me? Aye, I've riches aplenty to buy your clemency with. What'll it be then? There. Make it a lot, and I might believe we're even. Glad we could come to an almost agreeable arrangement. You're only standing in her stronghold. She's the leader of us all. Us new bloods who chafe at Ferrante's stifling rule. Our commander might be at sea for now, but she'll be back soon enough. Spoken like a man after my own heart. I'll call off the ships who are hunting you at sea. And as for here, my crew will let you go about as you please.
Done and done. What for, Cap? My fingers be fat and furry, but they're ever so nimble. My fingers be easy breezy, wet and sleek. My fingers be fat, furry, easy breezy, wet and sleazy. Ahoy, aye, aye. A light's foot and an heavy bullet, aye, Cap. Ahoy.
Aye?
Ahoy. Aye, aye. Captain, done and done.
On it. Will do.
Ahoy. Aye, aye.
Welcome one and welcome all. Bye.
Look who finally washed back up ashore.
Ahoy there, Siri. Miss me?
Did I miss you? Like a fish misses water, you gutless bastard. For the first few weeks, anyhow. Till it turned to confusion and worry. Ye said ye'd write every night, didn't ye? Then where were the birds or the boats with your poems and pages?
You saying our pirate's a poet?
Siri, sweet honey heart. I scribbled you missives day and night. Declarations of passion, sonnets in songs. Well, on account of me being at sea, I never had the opportunity to post them.
Oh, I'm certain I should believe every word of that blarney. About as certain as I am that you're a snake-tongued philanderer worth little more than a tug in the rug.
I plundered you up a pair of fine, very fine, snakeskin boots, with that tooling you like round the cuffs and all. But the gentleman sprung a leak, and they ended up thoroughly sodded. Tell her, Cap.
Well, that's how we got here in the first place.
Ray McGann's frosty bollocks, Captain. You trying to sink me too?
At least someone at this sodding fort's possessed of a lick of honour.
Ah, balls. We be in for it now.
Ye can't just go showering a lass with wildflowers and filling her head with verse if you're planning to ship out and never see her again. Ye've been lucky thus far, you know. I'm of half a mind to call ye out, and I'm no worse than many with a blade. Least then, perhaps you'll give me a lick of satisfaction.
Aye, Captain. I'll be truly sore and sorry, lass. Sorrier still than that. I won't go spinning no yarns about being married to the sea or coming home to you someday. I ain't that gentleman, nor never will be neither. Alls I can promise you is that what be broken me there ain't fixing for. I'll be a right sad fuck, and there ain't nothing to account for it, but...
That I can understand. I'm not forgiving ye a lick now. I won't go seeking for your blood, neither. Now, why don't you be telling me what you want so I can be shot of you for good?
Aye, lass. The captain's got an ask or two about Deadline. But first, I need to know. You remember Romaro? Sailed with me on a sorcerer.
Aye, I remember Romaro. You think I've gone wet in the head or something? Your words have always been as flowery for him as they were for me. It weren't so long ago he shipped out, come to think on it. Can't rightly say. Left in a hurry, I think. Or at least he were here one day and gone the next. Not he ever mixed much with the sods here. Hard to starboard through the back door there, then straight on to the end of the hall. Don't think nobody's claimed his quarters since. Might be worth it to you to poke around.
Give my thanks, lass. Truly. And many more besides.
Oh, keep it in your pantaloons, you randy swab. You had any other questions, Captain? Happy to oblige the person hauling this blue bastard away from Fort Deadlight. You don't know? That's so, I'm thinking it's not my place to tell you. They both crewed the Sorcerer for a season or six. Romaro were like a father to Seraphon, or so he's told me. Taught him the mariner's trade. More than that, you'd have to ask him yourself. Were there something else you wanted?
I must say, our adventures together have been a welcome change of pace. When we first met in the Deerwood, you were struggling for your sanity. Now you're fighting for your soul. I can't imagine the weight of that burden. And yet you've borne it, and more remarkably. The gods have sent you after Aethys, and every power of note in Deadfire has their own plans for you. That puts you in a position of incredible influence. I'm glad you don't take your responsibilities lightly. After all we've seen, how can you say that? At Sun and Shadow, you determined the fate of thousands of souls. I should hope you gave the matter due consideration. Please, just remember this in the days to come.
Aye? Aye, aye. What for, Cap? A light's foot and an heavy bullet, aye, Cap? Done and done. Captain, done and done. Aye?
Nice and quiet.
Done and done. Captain? Ahoy. Aye, aye.
Well, all done.
I heard someone got the best of Ben, had him pissing his trousers.
Guess that wasn't so hard.
What the... Damn me and Andra's worthless son. Some unlucky sot of lang
While
for this one.
everyone's gawking, we ought to sneak upstairs.
What do you need?
Hang it all, that nearly damn flattened me.
Captain? Why my eyes be open? Aye. What for, Cap?
Keeping an eye out.
Aye, aye.
What'll it be, Swabby? Right away.
What for, Cap? Aye, aye, aye. A light's foot and an heavy bullet, aye, Cap? Aye. What for, Cap? Aye, aye. A light's foot and an heavy bullet, aye, Cap? Ahoy. Aye, aye.
Think this'll break me? Ha! It won't. Spit on me, and I'll make you regret it. One day, surely. Those hagfish. Benweth's crew lashed me up to be, and I quote, a deterrent to insubordination. It's shark shit. All I did was filch one of their horns and blast it to start lung with. I wanted to see her get all worked up. Well, sure. But shouldn't you know this, on account of you being a captain? That he does, the master rogue. You should have come to us sooner. We're accepting of even old bloods if they're wanting to run fresh. Not that I ain't grateful, but if Ben's crew spots me about, they'll be taking more than my pride next. Like I could go anywhere. Not that I ain't. Suppose I'll do my best.
What for, Cap? Done and done. Ahoy. Aye. A light's foot and an heavy bullet, aye, Cap? What for, Cap? Aye. What for, Cap? God, that was beaut. What for, Cap? Done and done. Captain? Aye.
Keeping quiet.
Trouble up ahead.
What do you need?
Whoa, whoa, look.
Of course. Not exactly my area of expertise.
Almost.
There's a one!
Right.
I don't think I can pull that off.
Let's go.
That looks complicated.
What for, Cap?
That's it!
Not even close.
About taxed to my limit. Rather difficult to concentrate.
Lava. This is futile!
Take him down.
worth.
Lava beyond. Worth and rock.
Of course. Yes? Yes? I shall. You're right. He does do that with his hands.
Fie, 'tis roughing his precious spelling book that scares the lad. Or maybe 'tis notching his wee finger.
You gotta stop. My sides hurt. Oh, I miss this.
Surely you've spied how he's always brushing himself. He won't say, but he's afeard of seagull shit.
Aye? Aye. A knight's foot and an heavy bullet, aye, Cap?
Oh?
Done and done. Captain. Aye, aye. What for, Cap?
Ain't no cruel eye of me. What good's a pirate who can't see? Forget navigating by the stars or shooting a pistol. I can't even swing a sword accurately now. Have a pity and toss me a pyre, will you? Andra's blessings to you for sharing, sailor. Is this what my life boils down to? A moment of entertainment for others? I was a bosun not so long ago, and a damn good one at that. Didn't lose much skin.
Aye, aye.
Much ado to you, Casita. A word of advice. Guard your back in dunnage. You have not yet carved a name for yourself or your crew. Yet you choose to swim in a sea of sharks. Should one take a bite, the Consuelo will not intervene. Elsewise, how might I be of assistance? Yes, our Council of Captains. There are 7 seats on the Consuelo, each occupied by a high-ranking captain within the Principe. Seat holders convene to vote on a variety of issues concerning the Principe's well-being. To claim a seat, a captain must have substantial backing and sufficient power, both politically and physically. Ferrante, the last Marcheso, holds the highest-ranking seat because the most ships in our entire fleet have pledged loyalty to his flag. As you can guess, the Sea Wolf, Aldis, commands the second most numerous fleet of ships. As such, she is the second chair, and I am the third. Perhaps you would like to attend the proceedings when the Consuelo next convenes. You have my ear, Casita. Of what do you wish to discuss today? I met Ferrante decades ago. Many years I sailed as his first mate before building my own humble fleet. When in the Principe, do as the Valians do. Unless, of course, you have no care for tradition or the continued sustainability of our way of life, like some filthy new blood. You may have noticed a divide between old blood and the new, by which I mean those who descended from or otherwise hold old Valia in grand esteem, and the varied and often uncouth recruits we have since brought into the fold. I assure you the latter was supremely by necessity, though perhaps I am ill-equipped to throw stones. As a Casita of some repute, you will be most welcome in the King's coffin. But you should watch yourself throughout the Radiant Corps.
Ah, Watcher. Good, you have arrived.
Ahoy there yourself, Captain. What do I be but a pretty bit of man-meat to dangle from a wrist? As easily forgotten as set aside.
A little seabird informs me that you have dealt with our mutual problem, the scoundrel Benuet. I must admit, I did not expect you to leave him alive, but I think it a shrewd decision. Whatever understanding you've come to, I do believe could prove advantageous for us in the future. Gelarde, for this you have my grandest commendation. That he did. Even though you left him alive, I am sure his pride received a long overdue beating. And as promised, I have prepared for you a fine prize. However, there is another matter of which we must now speak. I must confess to you a bit of a problem has arisen. One which speaks to your expertise with the supernatural. We've sighted the floating hangman that haunts the Deadfire. A few somewhat crude ones. Not many who encounter the floating hangman live to tell the tale, or otherwise recorded. This galleon, what likely remains of the von Ferus, is a frightful legend. We have been losing ships at sea, amico, and not to those Valera ship-hunting bastards. I believe the floating hangman may be our culprit. Fortune favors us, as I have procured a survivor from such a recent sinking. You will consider what she has to say. Come forth, Selenia. Quickly now, or I will run rivers of your lethargic... Well, spit it out, Selenia, and try not to embarrass me before our guest.
Of course, Captain. Hit my head pretty hard near the end, but I spit the tale as best as I can. Go on, gent. I'm ready as I'm like to get me. You aren't quite what I expected, Watcher. Kinder than most. Saw my old crew slaughtered me, my best mates, and even a few I hated. They weren't but blood and meat in the end. It branded the back of my eyes, that moment. High seas. Nothing but blue all around. Then, mist so thick you could taste it. Ships sailed from within. Out of nowhere was a hunt. Not for loot, but for bodies. The ship, it looked rotted. The crew, they were all undead. Couldn't stop them from boarding. Couldn't kill them. Couldn't even fight them in the end. They were dreadful. Some were clothed, like maybe they'd only recently died. Others weren't more than moving bones. One was different. Her presence was overwhelming. Heavy. Flames burned in the place of her eyes. The crew shambled hard to do her bidding, even the ones who seemed hardly aware. Figured she was the captain, me.
There is a flag the floating hangman flies. A flag that once heralded the von Ferus of Old Valia. It belonged to our Darkotsi paladin of some legend, one Lucia Rivan. But Selenia's knowledge is limited in this regard. Let us instead ask her of a subject she may know.
Me and my crew were adept. Alert. Always. No. Weren't no one gonna get the jump on us. Was some magic foul. Just sudden like, the winds died, the waters fell flat and the air got heavy. They turned sky and the sea both against us. Then this thick fog roiled up at midday. Without a sound, the Spectre ship skimmed right out. It was too late. We couldn't outsail it. Dunno me. Drifted for days, maybe longer. Kept winking in and out after I ran out of drink.
One of mine found her no more than a week ago. Malnourished, dehydrated. The poor girl was scarcely able to speak.
Well, I'm more than able to gabble now, aren't I? Could sail, too. No, you got no reason to keep me.
Perhaps there is something else you wish to ask of our guest before she departs from us.
Calling me Craven? Huh, sure, I am. Took a knock-in and I was out for a while. When I came to, they were eating Ganasco, our steward. I dropped a dinghy and rode for it. Don't know why they didn't give chase. Don't much care, me.
She belongs to Aldis, who undoubtedly will come to claim her soon. But that is a problem for another time. One moment, Watcher. How very clever of you. Indeed, the White Kestrel and her crew were pledged to Aldis. However, it is not by virtue of Aldis that Selenia yet lives, and I would have that well remembered. I can be a generous leader, you understand. Truly. Allow me to cut to the heart of it. Lucia Rivan, whose flag flies atop our spectral ship, was a Darkotsi paladin who died more than 200 years ago. It is my hope that uncovering the details regarding dear Rivan's fate in life may illuminate the nature of her undeath and how to defeat her galleon. Unfortunately, the only soul who could possibly shine more light on our situation lies buried deep within Neketaka. One Isir the Berethian, now well rotted, I presume. Indeed, I do. Though I and mine cannot so openly venture into the depths of Neketaka, nor can we commune with the dead. You, Watcher, are adept in both of these areas, correct? You must search the Temple of Berath on Neketaka's sacred stair. His heir's tomb within it should contain a chronicle for how and where he slayed our paladin, Rivan. Gelarde, do return when you've any lead that may navigate us to where the floating hangman anchors. I will be waiting.
Captain? Aye. Captain? Ahoy! Will my eyes be open?
Found something. Keep it down. On it.
Aye. Captain? Aye. Ahoy! Will my eyes be open? Aye, aye.
Hey.
Ahoy.
Kill 'em, wait an hour, then pull any gold teeth. Easy as pie.
You're an idiot. Wait a minute, wait an hour. Alive, dead, it makes no difference at all.
I've pulled plenty of gold teeth. I know the right way of it.
Maybe I'll pull your teeth just to prove you wrong.
What do you know? It really does make no difference. You, out.
Probably just insecure.
Oh! Blast my gold stars! My ship was attacked and boarded by pirate hunters. Didn't know if we'd be able to get away, so I swallowed down my most valuable possession and got his black tear, a gemstone about the size of my fist. Of course now it ain't coming out of either end. Been trying all manner of foul concoctions to no effect on account of my stomach being too strong. Years of sailing the storm-racked seas will do that to you. I started feeling an intense pain 2 days ago. I think I might be dying. I can't even crawl no more. Make me puke. Whatever you gotta do, just make it happen before this cursed gem kills me. Give me... Rosanella's got a stand in the Radiant Court. She's been supplying me with some, experimental concoctions, tweaking them after. Tell her the last one actually came close to working.
Captain, done and done.
Is that you? What's it been? 5 years? Life's been good. I keep on my feet and never stay in one place too long. Say what you want about pirates, but these Principi know how to have a good time. Sure, my money's on Rauatai, but I've avoided the Brass Citadel. Not interested in settling in, you know? I'll probably stay a little longer. There's plenty of work for a mercenary, after all. Seeing you means something big on the horizon, and time for me to move on. Thanks to you, I'm sleeping well. I hope you are too. Take care. Life's been good. I keep on my feet and never stay in one place too long. Say what you want about pirates, but these Principi know how to have a good...
Erwina in the king's coffin. She'll make
Did you hear?
see stars.
The gilded
So
kestrel
you're
was
the
lost at
captain the
sea.
old port's been talking about. Aye, you do look like a fearsome sort. Welcome to Dunwich. What are you having? I'll pour you a double. Ah, I guess the last concoction I made for him didn't do the trick then. Poor There's one last tincture recipe I know that won't kill him. Probably. It's called Andra's Bile, but I don't have all the ingredients in stock. You'll need a rotten hagfish, an unripened palm stone, and a vial of fire kelp extract. Have him mix it all with a half tankard of grog, and well, hope for the best. Check the barrels around Lifter's Refuse for the rotten hagfish. You might be able to find unripened palm stone for sale somewhere in Radiant Court. Harker in the King's Coffin usually keeps some fire kelp extract on hand for special purposes. Be careful when dealing with that one. The goal is to make him vomit, remember? A rotting hagfish produces a special oil once it reaches a certain level of decay. I did tell you the list of ingredients, eh? He'll have stuff dribbling out of both ends for a week. No one survives the floating hangman, or so they say. It's the ship of the dead. You spy it on the horizon, you flee as fast as you can.
You half-masted sot! to be 90 years old.
Impossible with her wealth.
Weren't no one to bribe. The floating man gone. Now they're bones.
Looking for work? I've got coin and a few scores to settle.
Oh?
Andra's gills. There's no hope.
Aye. Aye. Ahoy.
My old captain was a drinker from the day he was born to the day he died. Always he was rail thin. He wound up with a wooden leg, 26 ships and a bilious fever. Sunrise is a word, doves. The coming horizon is a sea-sized ruin.
Found something. Haven't seen you around before. Welcome to the King's Coffin. What can I do for you? Sure do. And at a generously discounted price too. 250 pies. Be careful you don't get any of it in your eyes. Burns like a mother. Oh, burns like you wouldn't believe. Wouldn't wish that sting on anybody. Actually, yeah. Yeah, I would. What do you want? So long as you show...
Damn my gut! Just killed blast my God's damn soul and stupidity! Oh! Oh, God! He's coming out the other end now! Oh, now, if you'll excuse me, I need a change of bottoms.
What for, Cap? Done and done. What for, Cap? A light's foot and an heavy bullet, aye, Cap? Captain, aye.
The ring of a bell comes to you on a cold wind. The ring comes again and again, until soon the air is full with the sound of 1,000 bells ringing all at once. You are alone. And then, you are not. An indistinct figure stands before you, flickering between forms like a fire-cast shadow. A fixed, taunting grin. Bottomless black eyes. A yawning chasm in the earth. The aspects of Berith, the Usher and the Pallid Knight, shift in and out of focus. And at their back, 4 indistinct shades hover. You feel an eternity stretch out behind each of them, reaching back to places so distant and yet so near you cannot comprehend their size. The shifting image of Berith settles on the aspect of the Pallid Knight.
Watcher.
Her voice is the discordant clangor of gongs struck out of time.
I tasked you to discover Aethys's intentions. Tell me what you have learned.
The Pallid Knight knits her brows.
He does not seek to return to the Beyond? Intriguing.
Her sickly pale skin pulls tight across the bones of her face, as if the shell of this aspect does not quite fit the impossible creature it contains. The figure nearest Berith dissolves and reforms in the image of a thin-lipped, ancient crone, whose face has felt the melting kiss of fire. The goddess Wodica strides forward.
Does Aethys frighten you, Berith? He should. Magran subdued Aethys's influence once before, and yet he returned.
From out of Wodica's shadow shuffles a hunched, bald man you recognize as the god Scan. His skin is mapped with swollen lash scars, and breath whistles through the ragged hole in his face, where his nose once was. He does not speak, but stares up at Wodica, with naked loathing plain on his ruined face. Wodica steeples her long, knob-jointed fingers.
We must annihilate Aethys now, before he makes a rash decision we cannot easily annul.
She casts a sly look at the Pallid Knight from the corners of her eyes.
A moon would do the job nicely. As if you could stop me.
The figure beside the aspect of Berith flows forward in a swirling cloud of ash. The ash falls to the tiles and reveals a molten-skinned woman, leaning on a monstrous, wicked-edged broadsword. Magran's glowing lips curl in disdain.
We must find a solution to the problem of Aethys that is neither do nothing, nor destroy the world. I acted in haste during the Saints' War. You will not goad me into doing the same now. To move against him while his plans are unknown would be the height of foolishness. We must find wisdom in precaution.
Magran looks at you as one might a wayward gob of spit on one's shoe.
It is no business of yours what the gods decide.
Another of the silent figures steps forward, and the warm, golden light of a summer's afternoon spills across your face.
Let's all take a deep, calming breath. Perhaps cooler heads will prevail.
Behind Helia's words, You hear the soft coo of doves. Helia peers down at you, her avian eyes blinking, refocusing, narrowing.
Oh, it's you. It's been some time, Watcher of Cadnua.
But Helia's voice drops to a low rumble. It catches in your mind, like a feather at the back of your throat.
Few are the kith who would dare make a pledge to a god and then so brazenly betray them. Did you see them on the street, I wonder? Those hollow-eyed children bereft of souls. Did you smile when their parents sobbed over their empty, wasted bodies? Did you congratulate yourself for a job well done? Would that you were not Bareth's tool, that I might demand my most vicious children rip your flesh from your bones. Instead, I must send my children to you with a gift.
The birds circling above Helia raise their voices in a cacophonous symphony of screeching. Her lips upturn in the smallest, bitterest of smiles.
When you return to your ship, dear Watcher, do think of me.
Mogren casts a sidelong glance toward Helia.
So much for cooler heads.
You can't be certain, but you think you might see Mogren, great goddess of fire, trial and war, stifling a laugh. The crows, ravens, rooks, and jackdaws sitting on Helia's shoulders cackle mockingly at Mogren. Mogren says nothing, though a great gout of steam spouts from her molten skin.
Aethys has been separated from us for too long. Isn't it possible he intends only to gather enough souls to reclaim his realm in the beyond? He should be welcomed.
Helia puts a feathered hand to her chest.
He wouldn't. Betrayal is not in his nature.
Scan shuffles forward.
Yes, yes. We should welcome Aethys's return to the fold. His gratitude we can leverage to cajole him into divulging his plot. Then, when he believes himself to be in our good graces, we do as Wetica suggests, and crush him into the earth.
Scan pauses, inspecting you.
Ah, and here is the Watcher who delivered poor tormented Alice back into the clutches of her uncle, Lord Harrand. Curious.
Scan licks the ragged edge of his lipless mouth and grins, then turns to Helia.
I did not expect such a deliciously ruthless idea from you, Helia. I am impressed.
Helia's feathered crest stands on end.
You wretched little creature.
His vessel may be destroyed, little Watcher. But Aethys is more than the vessel that holds him. He will always return, however we strike him down.
The Pallid Knight gestures for silence.
Aethys cannot be killed, but he may be subdued. Yet to do so will take immense power and time. Both stand in his favor.
Mogren grits her black glass teeth.
That is why we must ascertain his plans before he has the chance to put them into motion.
She begins to pace. Her steps leave little trails of fire in her wake. Mogren stops and balls her hands into flaming fists.
Even if we manage to destroy his current form, there is the possibility he could return, if he has not already absorbed all of his children.
The Pallid Knight casts a cold, cutting glare in Mogren's direction.
Mogren speaks too freely. That knowledge is beyond your ken, Watcher.
Wotica waves the gods to silence.
Aethys gathers strength. His strength is a threat to us.
Her voice takes on a sharp, almost panicked edge.
There is no sensible answer to the question of a resurgent Aethys other than decisive, final action.
Your opinion is unasked for and unnecessary, but noted nonetheless.
Though her tone is impassive, the banked fury in her eyes says well enough what she thinks of your interruptions.
We will act when it is appropriate to do so, and not before.
The Pallid Knight steps away from the half-circle of assembled gods. She pulls herself up to a great height. The words she speaks next come not from her mouth, but from all around you.
Follow him, Watcher.
The black of the Pallid Knight's irises expand until her eyes are as dark and cold as the void between stars. She bends down and brings her ghostly face level with your own.
Your debt to me remains unpaid.
She stares at you, unblinking. Like a needle drawn to a magnet, you are pulled toward her one compulsory step at a time. You blink open your eyes and find yourself on the floor of your ship's cabin, alone.
I've got it.
Ship life sure is an adventure, ain't it? Just think of all the places we can sail to, all the sights we could see. This is nothing like being stuck on a farm, or cloistered in the back of a temple. Tell me what's on your mind? I did, recently with you. You were walking the depths of the ocean, but you didn't drown. And in your hand, you gripped the key to Aora's end. I've seen stars wreathing a statue's brow, and souls flowing like tears over gleaming Audra. And then my god headed into the heart of the storm, where he could find the darkness. We talking during the Saints' War, or after he died? Well, before he died, he was still Aethys as the majority of my brethren know him. Aethys embodied a human, and when that human got blown to bits, we all believed Aethys died. And I think a part of him did, the part he'd most closely woven into living flesh, the part that represented life, and rebirth after death. Which means the part of him that could have survived, that stormed across the Deadfire's seas, was the side more aligned with obsidian, rot, and falling away. That which is death. I really only know what my folks taught me. Aethys embodied Saint Widwin, but during the war, he got blown to bits. That's the thing about human bodies. Eventually, they all gotta die. As the god of rebirth, of course, Aethys would be coming back. But where I differ from my family's view, and my High Priestess's view, is that I've studied the apotheosis of Gone. And I know all about the backside, the downward swoop, the death part of the cycle of life. Obsidian, rot, regrowth. What's gone can never be again. What comes back is changed. Always. Even if what comes back is a god. Then you mean gone. Sure, maybe my god still answers to Aethys as well. Why not? But Aethys died, and death requires change. He ain't what he was. Not in exactly the same way. That's why I think his other aspect, his darkness in the light, is what's burning brighter in him now. No need to fiddle-foot around. I'm listening. Reckon not. But I can't help but be a touch wayward. I don't take it too far. My ma caught me once necking in the Merkberry stalks. And of course I fight. But I've not done much more than that. And I don't use the real ugly words. Sometimes the feelings, they just come tumbling right out of me. Gods darn it. I'm glad we talked.
thank you again for maintaining my story in front of Vanessa and the others. I didn't enjoy deceiving them, but it seemed simpler than the alternative. Believe me, I take no pleasure in duplicity. At your suggestion, I took up Theos's mantle after we parted company. I wanted to use the Leaden Key to improve the lives of Kith. So for 5 years, I've been tracking down Leaden Key circles, searching for the places where they operate in secret, hoping they can be reformed. The task has been more difficult than I anticipated. I don't think I fully understood the weight of the decisions I would have to make, or the burden of living with them. It was much easier when I only had to follow someone else's lead. My father's, Theos's, yours. I wish I knew. After we defeated Theos, I thought the hard part of changing the Leaden Key would be tracking down its members and operations. Perhaps this would be easier with an example. I went to a village in Old Valia, a run-down backwater of a place. Aye, right home like it was. Centuries ago, the Leaden Key had intervened to end some heretical cult. The details were lost, but what had endured was a practice of ritual bloodletting. A gruesome, pointless tradition. At every full moon, the villagers would feed the soil with their blood. No one, young or old, sick or hale, was exempt. I don't blame the villagers. I can understand needing someone to follow, something to believe. But it's our duty to give them compassionate guidance, isn't it? I thought new leadership might guide them away from this practice. So I adjusted some of the deeds pertaining to the ownership of their land. It just so happened that a nearby Comtessa, a rather prosperous one, had a claim on the village, and the fertile fields around it. The Comtessa annexed the village, as I'd planned. But she did nothing about the bloodletting ritual. And while it continued, she taxed the villagers to pay for the plantation she was building. And conscripted half of them to defend it. I had to do something, didn't I? I keep wondering what I might have done differently, or how I could have known better. Then at least I'm in good company. I should get some rest. It's been a long day, and you've given me a lot to think about. Ah, that. I'm looking for an old Leaden Key sect. I've found several references, but I want to be sure. Please, let me go over my notes again. Then I promise I'll tell you everything.
Hey, this brings back some memories, huh?
I'm a little worried about Aloth. I think the strain of the journey is getting to him. He's not his usual self. The old Aloth used to really like it when we made fun of him. He'd just stand there real quiet with his mouth sort of twitching and his eyes real big like he couldn't believe how good we were getting him. But the new Aloth doesn't just sit and take it. It's like he's losing his sense of humor. No, not all of it. There's the Leaden Key. We went all the way through the Deerwood to stop them. Now Aloth just picks up where Theos left off? The Leaden Key. I don't need to tell you what they did. Just about everything I ever cared about back home, they ruined it. And what do you suppose Aloth's been up to these last few years? And why do you suppose he's back here, with us? I'm not saying we gotta do anything crazy, but maybe we need to be more careful around him. You telling me you don't have suspicions? You're right. I was there to see it. Just needed reminding is all. Well, appreciate you taking the...
Yeah, right.
If you be having a tick, Cap, I'll be thinking that, if I be dragging you into these depths, you deserve the full sounding. When I were a wee swabby, fresh to the sea. It were Romaro that showed me the ropes and rigging. More than that, he kept his weather eye open for me. The sea be a right poxy ore on occasion, and life aboard the Sorcerer, that and more. Malnash, our ship hunter, she were all wet and bothered for doing me harm. And Romaro, he protected me. Mentored me too. Learned me letters and navigation, handed down the Principe traditions. In time, we became close as kin or closer. And the Sorcerer, my family. Right, fantastic fucking question, Cap. Word out were mutiny. But I'll be putting about as much stock in that as a dockside doxy for manners. Well, no, I don't normally be singing no praises of veracity, Cap. But in the matter of Romaro, I'll be hunting the truth. Fair. He be of Old Valian stock. A good man and righteous. Not honest, of course, but honourable. Were our shipboard sawbones, more than half handy at it. More than one swabby be on the old salt of deferral from the wheel. Well only knows, Cap. She treated me like my mere presence gave offence. Thanks, Cap. I'll be holding you to it. Ahoy, Captain. What can I do you for?
You're far from home, farmer. How did you make it all this way in your little boat?
Yeah, but you can't just assume. We got rabble-rousers, too.
I'm the harbor master, Kauha. I must ask your reason for docking in Nekataka. I've seen enough laden ships to know how one sits in the water. Your ship cannot be carrying more than your crew and provisions. Tell me the real reason you're here, or we'll put you back on your ship and tug you out of the harbor. I don't think your ship could even sail beyond the reef in its current condition.
Show them. Show them what you are.
We don't have to tolerate these idle threats. If you value your life, get back on your ship and head for open sea.
I will help you.
What's the matter with you? What are you doing? If you're trying to scare us with some cipher mischief, save the purple flames for the tribes of the Outer Islands.
Now.
What? What is this?
Run for it!
I think I got a ghost up my nose there. That's better.
Huh? On it.
Need a fresh jacket or pants? Something? Take your time.
Not a bad bit of tackle, Cap.
Huh? Sure.
Have you heard about the commotion at the palace?
Of course. Something about Luminous Adra.
A giant made of Luminous Adra.
All I know is that they're all at each other's...
Finally washed into port.
Hold up, Cap. That be Malnage, the High Queen Sea Devil of the Deadfire herself, awaiting us like a shark in hate. Steady as the sea, Cap.
Captain, I've heard a mess and a half about you. Mostly good. Though I see your taste in company could use some refining.
Typical Malnage. Can't match my skill, so you try to spew shit.
Boy, when you're as old as me, your skill will still be naught more than the untrained fumbling of an Adeiran maid to the refined workings of my mind. I've heard about your run-ins with Captains Benweth and Ferrante. Meeting the old Principe seems like. Almost makes a girl green. The envy of missing the party. I'm tracking a man by the name of Rimaro. Traitor to the cause.
Romaro ain't no traitor, you mind-blind sack of squid squirts.
Captain, there'll be a bounty of some 4,000 pounds on Rimaro, quick or dead. I'd be willing to cut you a tenth of that, here and now, if you give me any knowledge you might have stumbled across on your travels. Careful, Watcher. You don't want to go making yourself an enemy of the Principe Sen Petrena. Anyone aids our enemies shares their fate, you know. Fare thee well, Captain. See you around, sir.
I say, you look like someone who wants protection and a certain something about presence. Akira? It isn't every day that I cater to your kind, but I like a challenge. Holler if any of the iron or steel laying around catches your fancy. Or if you need something repaired, I'm happy to take a glance. Akira, but these wonders have suffered greatly. I say you must take better care of your things. I say I could repair these to their working order for 1,500 pyres each. Something about the metal. If you need iron or steel, maybe even something lighter. I've got plenty in stock. Akira, when you swing this beauty, you must make sure to tell your foes that Mahiri sent you. Whispers of the Endless Paths. A most brooding and gloomful weapon, I say. May it chop your enemies into fine pieces for the delight of Tongaloa.
Huh?
What for, Cap? Done and done. Why my eyes be open? What for, Cap?
Razor skewers, crusted swordfish.
You had no right to interfere in Rawatai's business.
Hawana culture isn't business, you company drudge.
The sea is true home, not smelly mountain. What you want? Arkemir doesn't let worthless idiot outside after worthless idiot spray dung on stupid tablet. But Arkemir not home. So worthless idiot watches the ships come in, looks at all the tasty gulls. How often you beat your crew, huh? No beatings? None? I join crew? I join crew!
Aye, done and done.
Did the Queen summon everyone to the palace?
Akira, I've never seen Aruihi run so fast.
Hold a moment. You may visit the palace and its shrine, but be warned. The Queen meets with trading company vipers. Take care you are not bitten. You will find her in her throne room through the door behind me. Inform the guards of your purpose. Whether the Queen will hear you above the baying of her guests is another matter.
Karate pays coin. to
You
feed the great eel.
songwriters need a guild if you hope to learn discipline.
Not so. We speak in the tongue of Ngati and Amira. Your pretty dances may upset the puddle, but we command the wind.
While I am flattered by the esteemed Hazanui's confidence, I must wonder how my people are meant to have destroyed an entire colony overnight.
You tell us. It's no coincidence that your outpost at Port Mage survived the recent storm.
You speak as if I could command the tides. While you are casting your blame in a wide net, why not look to our Kahanga allies? We do not share their talent for shaping water.
I say our guest forgets himself.
Brother, stand down. You are the one who mistakes my throne room for a sparring arena. I say this is beneath us. An interesting visitor in difficult times. You cannot be here to deliver a favorable omen. Allow me to apologize as I toss you before the wolves. This one is a watcher blessed by Tangaloa. I suspect that many of our questions about Hasongo will...
One of our busiest ports. Much of the food we send to Rawatai passes through Hasongo. I take it from your question that you are not here to enlighten us about Hasongo.
I know this one. His parlor tricks frightened 10 years of every sailor in Queen's Birth.
We assembled to discuss the darkening of Hasongo, one of Rawatai's colonies. Watcher, it seems you have the floor.
Huh. What sailor's tale is this?
There's no sane explanation for what's been happening. You keep waiting for one, it'll be too late.
Does tilling the soils of the Eastern Reach drive all men mad? You sound as crazy as the Dawnstar Dreamers.
Have you not heard the rumors, Karu? An Adra Colossus marching across the sea. Sailor tales, but credible ones.
Ganta Nichese. I'm acquainted with the Watcher of Cadnua from my assignments in Defiance Bay and Twin Elms.
Diverus? It explains the colorful nature of your reports.
I have seen things with him that are not even told in the most outlandish of sailors' tales.
And I'm supposed to take two Valians at their word?
How came a Watcher from half the world away to be involved in these happenings? Enlighten the court. The Lady of Doors must have great confidence in you. Tracking down a god who stands as tall as a mountain, a fisherman with poor eyesight could do this. My priests will trip over their feet to interpret his divine plan. Watcher, can you cut through the din and tell for what he comes to the Deadfire? How resourceful of you. The Isles are studded with enough luminous Adra to bankroll an economy. I believe our course is clear. We will send the Watcher to Hasongo. Set sail to the west of Nekataka. I would tell you to keep a weather eye out for a lighthouse, but the God of Light did not appreciate competition. Something to add, Hazanui? You have an eager look about you. She believes herself entitled to my ear, I say.
Only that Hasongo is a Rawatayan outpost. It would be useful for the Watcher to take one of ours along.
Ma'am?
Maya's an expert sailor and a better sharpshooter. The best the Brass Citadel has to offer. Whatever comes your way, she'll see it first.
If it gets me and Ashiza out of diplomat duty, we'd set sail with a drunk scolder at the helm.
And shut us out entirely? We have every right to know of any hazards in these waters. Palagino, go with the Watcher. See that the Republics are served in this investigation.
Ah, Your Excellency. Hamed Kongswalias.
That will be enough parading of champions for now. I'm certain that our guest knows how to assemble a crew. Akira, if you can stand the chattering of unlike minds on your ship, that is your prerogative.
Oh, good thing I'm already accustomed to cramped quarters and temperamental birds.
We both have our orders. I have no interest in interfering with you as long as you do not interfere with me.
I believe we are finished here. Are we? Aren't we popular? Take care at Hasongo. The Deadfire was overfull before Aethys blundered in. and take care with your trading company spies.
I say it is beyond time our guests lick their wounds somewhere else. Let's speak. While we have the chance.
Aye, aye.
Your coming is a favorable omen already. You happen by a time when our rivals bicker and tear at each other's throats. It does not take a priest to see how the gods send us an outsider to dig under the skin of our enemies. Save your manners for my sister. Kohopa fashioned me for the arena, not the court. I will not paddle around the island. My sister wants to know if you are as useful as you are disruptive. She trusts me to judge this. You did not come this far to serve the crown, I say. Enjoy your stay in Nick.
What do you need of me? Well? I suppose it is. Are you familiar with the shield bearers of St. Elka? We are a paladin order. Word of our order travels far then. Good. I am the son of a disgraced noble family. My father and brothers were executed for treason when I was a boy. Rightfully so, I must add. And my mother, sister, and I were thrown out on the street. All we had to our names was a trunk full of heirlooms. One of them was this suit of armor, which belonged to my eldest brother. Now I endeavor to live up to its promise and redeem my family's honor. That's the long and short of it, really. Well, you would need to become a shield bearer yourself to really learn it all. But I suppose I can as you like.
Aye. Aye. Captain, will my eyes be open? What for, Cap? Aye. Captain. Ahoy.
Does it ever trouble you, being so far removed from the rest of your order?
You gonna call me heretical too?
Of course not. I'm terribly sorry. I didn't mean to pry.
Candles and bombs.
Payment for it could be no simpler, I say. Tell me, are you someone who walks the path that coin lays out before you? Transmuting actions into payment is the alchemy that orders our world. I pay bounties so that death can bring order to life. Would you help me continue the cycle? Weigh the matter. You will arrive at the same place, I think. Know that we honor our bounties by letting them take part in a mechanism as...
Shining God, light your path, strange. We thank...
We will witness a new beginning.
It's you. I can't believe it. Is that really you? And Adair, you made it out of Gilded Vale for good then. I'm glad.
A lot more might have made it out if you hadn't left them for dead.
I haven't forgotten. It's why I'm here, Adair. I kept to my word. I started trying to help around town like you told me. When the Hollowborn curse ended, it was like... You can't imagine what that meant to everyone. We had some good years. Then word came through that the Dawn Stars were coming out here. That the Shattered God was back to being the Shining God. Blazes, I tossed and turned about it. I figured there couldn't be a clearer sign. So now I'm doing what I can, handing out food mostly, or delivering supplies. Familiar work, I guess. Took some getting used to, working shoulder to shoulder with Raid Sarens, but it's not so hard as you'd think. Feels like I'm on the right path, toward a little piece of redemption, maybe. I guess you've changed your mind some since we met. I never got a sign from Aethys to begin with. There was just you. If it comes down to what we can live with, I'm still in the right place.
Yeah, well, we'll see where you end up in the next life. They can't redeem you, but you'll still be judged.
So it is you. I could not think of a reason why your ghost should haunt the Deadfire, save to haunt me. And that smacks of arrogance, sister. And why do these spirits follow you? More blood on your hands? We were never friends, I know, but when they told me your keep was destroyed, I was sorry to think that you were dead. The gods have a purpose for you. That much has always been clear. When the priest spoke of Aethys' return, I volunteered to come, along with a few of my men. I think the Morning Council was content to have me out of the way. That's putting it all very simply. But then, I suspect few of us have simple reasons for coming to the Deadfire. So, his appearance has renewed your faith as well. I think for once I am content to wait. If our God wishes to speak with us, wishes anything of us, he will give us a sign. The priests pray daily for it. I would know if he has a plan for...
Seem to remember he already had one. Just wasn't any good.
Yes, play the jealous child. All you knew of his plan was that you weren't part of it.
Aethys had something he wanted to get done, and he chose Raid Ceres to pay the price. Yet here you are, begging for more. Say what you want about Dear Woodens, but at least they got a will of their own.
You're right. That was uncalled for. I apologize.
It's something, is it?
I don't know. I came here on a pilgrimage of a kind. Nekataka is full of spirits. And the sea, where to begin?
Self-loathing is a blight on the soul, Adaric. Don't make your journey through hell darker than it has to be.
You're right, of course, sister. You are a watcher still. Yet you are neither mad nor killed. It's good to see. The cure you sought, and which I was weak enough to doubt. See, there. Determination will win out every time. And now you are on to new challenges. That sword was only meant to keep you alive through your ordeal. It's fulfilled its purpose. Each missive from the Deadfire raises new tumult. Some believe our Lord restored, while others doubt. We've done penance for many long years. None of us know what forgiveness ought to look like.
It doesn't seem like Aethys has his mind on forgiveness these days.
Take care, and may the Shining God light your way.
Ahoy.
Gone here. Prayers, surely as I do. Jody, I do hope you are not getting into trouble now.
Who, me? No, I wouldn't dream of it.
Do swine stink like shit? I'm guessing you're not here to worship. Then what can I do for you?
Gon's the only one that matters.
The Shining God's got many faces, but they're all his to wear. Divine King Widewind, he saw the dawn stars, telling him of things to come. But it's gone with Sickle and Lantern that's come to the Deadfire. Our God's returned, and he's gonna bring balance to the world. He's gonna right all the wrongs we have suffered. Gon will bring a new beginning for all of us when that hour comes. We receive followers of the Shining God every day. You might want to speak with Nordegand over there. She's been here the longest, and takes care to know everyone of our faith. No more than anywhere else. No sense fighting it. The water sustains our faith, surely as it does these trees. Oh yes, people are afraid, angry. Change can be frightening. But what did any of us come here for, if not a new beginning?
Here for a meal? Just get in line, dear. Ain't no trick to it.
Hey, there's a lady I'm looking for. Came from Deerwood. Short, got a bad temper. Goes by Alava Mazzy. Heard of her?
I know an Alava, but that ain't a surname.
No?
Not real warm, that one. Stop by unannounced, you get a pistol up your nose when she answers the door.
Yeah, that's her. So, she's living with her, husband, then?
Not that I noticed.
Huh. Must be laying low.
Just that boy of hers.
She's got a son? How old would you say? Like a little boy? I'd be happy to help you with the math. Nah, just curious.
Oh, I couldn't say. It's been years. He must be a young man by now.
Wow, that's something. Well, thanks for your help.
Don't you want to know where to find her?
Yeah, I was just about to ask.
She's in Hasongo, last I heard. Got a little plot of land out there.
I guess we'll look that way then. Much obliged.
Aye. Aye, aye.
You're a
You
follower
know
of the
how
light?
I've been saying there's nothing more important to me than us freeing you from Bareth's bonds? Well, I meant that. I did. But there's this other thing I need to see about. On the way, like. I was gonna tell you. I'm glad you see it that way. This thing with the gods holding your soul for ransom, we're still gonna take care of that. Right after. This woman, well, love's not the right word. But she was something to me once, back in Gilded Vale. After the legacy ended, all I could think about was how to repair what the gods had done. To me, that meant seeing about making Aethasians feel safe in their own homes. That's how I found the night market. After a while of that, I got to thinking about the days just after the war, when we all stopped feeling safe in the first place. Mostly I thought of the woman I couldn't help, who had to leave her home in the dead of night carrying a little baby that had no soul. Last I saw her, she was going to New Hayamar. Went looking for her there, only to find that she'd left a long time ago. Anyway, I don't expect you to understand, but I gotta know she ended up all right. Yeah, that's something. Coming out of Deerwood during that time. I mentioned the baby she had when I knew her. That was a boy, too. I never found out what happened to him. But with the Hollowborn, you didn't have to ask. Guess he got a brother, though. No, but I don't see a way to let this go. Least a way's not now. Last time I saw Alava, we got friendly. Now she's got a son. Hey, I wanted to ask you something. It's about Shodi. She means well. I can see that. And she's spirited, and if I was still young and didn't know the things I know, it'd be different. But anybody got that much faith in any god, let alone Aethys? I don't know how to talk to someone like that. I get why she's like that. And I was there once, long time back. But it's 'cause of that I can't see a way to respect it. I'm no good at hiding it from her either. I don't see this getting better. Doesn't seem like she's any different than what she shows. Never been much of a liar. Folks tend to see through. All right, I'll do like you said. I don't think she'll believe me, but I'll do it.
Maybe you heard earlier? I follow Aethys too. Mostly, in a way. I mean, I am a child of the Dawnstars, even if firstly I'm a Gaunite.
That's good, I guess. For you.
Oh, maybe you don't want to talk about it. That's all right. Surely, some other time, then. Was it the way I said it? Or maybe I'm in need of a washing.
I am always glad to meet another priest. Be welcome. Join the others should you wish to practice your forms. Do you believe so? It is not in might alone that Margran holds influence. There is purpose, conviction, achievement. You may honor her in many ways. Akira, rain and wind is a better teacher than any priest. A fighter accustomed to comfort earns only bruises. Each obstacle is a challenge we must answer. These are whetstones that sharpen us into fine blades. It is an opportunity to learn. What good is a fighter who knows how to defend against a single enemy? If we must one day fight one another, such is Margran's will.
I've got it.
Supplies! Get your supplies! Here.
A door watcher. Have a look.
What for, Cap? Aye.
Consider, friend, certainly.
Aye. Aye.
Yeah?
What do you need?
What can I do you for? Hoo-wee! About time we took a breather. My feet are blistered something fierce. Tell me what's on your mind. They're there in my... And sometimes I can take... Will we? I trust you. It's not like I can turn my back on my... You need me, I'll be too...
Yeah, sure.
Tekehu, you have shirked your duties for the last time, I say.
Guildmaster, be reasonable. I skipped one lecture to travel up the mountain. Still, the palace is closed until you present me before Onikaza.
You went alone. I asked for patience, but as usual, you make a trench out of a tide pool. Akira, it's always both where this one is concerned.
My patience wears thin, old shark. You have stifled me enough for one trip through Rakuhu's bowels.
I say Ngati weeps at her petulant spectacle of a child.
Akira, the significance is clearer to some than others.
For a water shaper who treasures his duty to the goddess, you spend too many days cavorting at the brothel.
Ugh, insufferable. It is not every day that I see a stranger face than mine in this part of town. Akira, I sent the prince a missive and heard nothing back. He is a busy warrior in a time of peace, I say. A watcher? And here I am, used to being the freak of Pariki's overlook. What does a watcher do? Akira, just so. I say I am no sailor, and I know even less about death. I am an artist. My peers do not understand. Water shaping to them is like studying calligraphy. To brew ink and sort parchment. The tide brings unexpected gifts. You are not unknown to me, I say. Whispers of an Adra Colossus reach my ears, and louder whispers of a corpse who follows him. What will you do when you catch up to this walking god? As do many mortals in the Deadfire, it seems the gods are no different. If it untangles me from the guild's apron strings, then you can mount me as the figurehead of your fair ship. Our quarters may smell of fish before long, but your crew will be more beautiful by association, I say.
Fish smell would be an improvement. Glad to have you.
Lead on. It will be good to put some distance between myself and the guild, even if we find less savory places along the way. A fair warning, Captain. Ngati gifted her favorite son with more than his stunning complexion. Good guess. Only for as long as, well, I say you will learn. In time.
Yeah? Right.
Aye. A light's foot and an heavy bullet, aye, Cap? What for, Cap? Aye, aye.
Let's take a look.
I shall be discreet.
Did you need something? I can feel the connection to Andra just like Myru taught me. But there's something missing. Maybe it's my form. Really? That isn't how the Guildmaster taught it. That's okay. Persistence is everything, right?
How long do you reckon it takes for a place to end up like this?
Found something.
Captain? Aye, done and done.
Yeah?
What for, Cap? Will my eyes be open? What for, Cap? Aye.
Worth a look, will do.
Ahoy. Captain? What for, Cap? Aye, aye.
On it.
What say, friend? The Guild's sanctum has seen better days. Simply a caretaker. I dust off Pariki's tomb and try to keep the place tight. Caring for the Guild Hall usually means drying off what others get wet in practice. A sanctum for master water shapers, I say. No students or outsiders allowed. I have never been there myself. Myru assures me the room has no need of cleaning. Akira. One of middling skill, if I am generous. Not all of us can boast of Takehu's talent. But Nagati touches us differently, I say. The Guild didn't used to allow outsiders the freedom of our halls. Akira. But how times change. Water damage, I thought. I say it's been that way since I got here, but I cannot recall if the former steward ever mentioned it.
What for, Cap? Aye, aye. A light's foot and an heavy bullet, aye, Cap?
You have questions for me? Speak up. Ikira, my pleasure. Water shaping is a talent bestowed on the Juana by the goddess Ngati. Periki was the first in recent memory to organize the talent into a series of teachable forms. What else would you like to know? Our art is the yield of the Juana's ancient covenant with the goddess. Our ancestors pledged to protect the luminous Adra, the islands, and the tribes. Ngati gifted us with the strength to keep our promise. We control tides, prevent storm damage, and keep unwelcome ships at bay. Lately, we have experienced an artistic revival of sorts, thanks to our star pupil, Takehu. We represent the best of Juana achievement, no small responsibility.
When I was little, me and my brothers used to spend hours chasing each other through the Merkberry fields. Don't think a day went by I didn't have a skinned knee or a bleeding elbow.
Well, we did that sometimes. Only my brother usually had... Hey, is that an Orlin Cajun back? They don't let you have those in Deerwood anymore. Well, that one's in pretty good condition.